Hello, hello. Welcome to Happiness is a Healthier Habit with me, your nutrition coach. My name is Jackie Poole, and here we talk about mom life, weight loss, habits, and everything in between. And to be honest, I've been throwing a lot of episodes on how to become stronger during hard times, how to endure hard times, but how to manage our stress and all of those good things that come when we all are having a hard time. And that's life. It's up and downs, and it would be so boring if we had it good all the time. And sometimes we do wish it was great all the time and there was no issues and smooth sailing. But sometimes you need a little wake-up call, a little rough road. And that tends to happen in everyone's day-to-day life. And personally, it can be financially, it can be family drama, which it's very happening in my life right now. And it's crazy how people really, you only have control over yourself, and that is the most important thing that you can focus on. Not only have I heard it through friends and people that really remind me of that my husband specifically as well. The only thing that we can control is our own actions and how we react to our situations. And it can be multiple things at once. It could be one thing at a time. It could be this, that, a never-ending thing. You feel like you're stuck in this loop of, hurdle after hurdle after hurdle, and you dig yourself out. And here comes another thing. But when you think about all of these things that are happening to you, if you aren't able to manage your stress, there's so many things that can happen to your physical self. So let's start with the physical results that can happen when we don't manage our stress, when we really start just let our worries go and really let our imagination run wild in that opposite direction of, well, what if I can't do this? What if this happens? What if, I can't do that? Or whatever the situation is, because it can be so broad as far as, your nutrition, your diet, your family, your finances, your health. So physically, there's so many things that can happen when you are not focusing on the things that you can control and you let that stress get to you. And one of the number one things that I've seen and heard from individuals, from myself, is really have some digestive issues. And to think that we might not pay attention to it, we're just going that, not really looking at it. But even if you're eating healthy, even if you're taking your supplements, when you're on a high stress, anxiety, not controlling, not managing that, the nutrition, you're not going to absorb all the good things that you're getting from your diet. You're not going to absorb the nutrients that you're getting from your supplements. So no matter what medications you're on, no matter what supplements, what good quality food you're taking, it's gonna be worthless. Because if you're in this state of always angry, always anxious, always worried about what's gonna happen, your body is always in a flight or fight mode. It's not worrying about absorbing all of that. It's trying to get out of that situation that is in. So that is number one, right? So we start having these digestive issues where our intestines are not able to really absorb all the good things that we might be putting in our body. Number two, we can have some high blood pressure We can, even start gaining weight if that's something that you're trying to do during a high stress time in your life. Losing weight might be one of the hardest things that you can do while you're in that position. Another thing that I've been personally experiencing because of all of these things that are going on is you can definitely have some hair loss in there. And trust me when I tell you, I'm taking the collagen, I'm washing my hair with the shampoo, I'm doing all the things. But when you really realize what's at the bottom of what's going on is you're not managing those emotions that are really driving your body to be in a flight or fight mode. So it's so important when you don't manage your stress. Stress can really deplete yourself of all the nutrient utilization. It can really deplete your energy. It can change your appetite. It definitely will affect your metabolism. So it affects your immune system. So there's so many things that stress can affect when you're not managing, when you're not controlling it, when you're letting it get to you. So if you're noticing all of these things and you feel like you're doing all of the right things, that might be why. Now, another thing that we focus on when we are stressed is not only just the physical sides, right? I just mentioned just a few, but also it really affects people mentally. When you have a problem and you just trying to fix it, and what if this happens, what if I can't do that, oh my gosh, what if this happens, I'm so nervous. Or you have a presentation and you can't sleep the next day. There's anxiety that creates within yourself that really disturbs maybe your sleep. It can affect how you concentrate and how you really work on your job, on your projects. So making that a priority to manage it can really affect how you start making decisions, not based on the what if, based on the presence and what you can do at that very moment. And there is times when you feel overwhelmed, when of course you're allowed to feel that way. If you feel like you're losing control of a situation, because sometimes those physical things that are happening to you because of the stress start also affecting you mentally. And so when you're not losing the weight, when you might not be eating your best, your self-esteem can also plummet and not feel the best version of yourself, even though you're trying to, but it's not showing up, right? Because all of these other things are happening. So it's so important to put both of these two, not just the physical part, not just the, trying to do that, is putting both of these things together and learning how to manage your stress. Because in reality, why people have stress or why there's so much stress in these days is you could feel under a lot of pressure. You could have a lot going on, and a lot of people maybe are dependent on you and you don't want to let them down. So there's also maybe going through some changes in your life, and it's not a small change. It could be a really big change, or the opposite, some small changes. I know for me, I do not like change, so I'm always taking these baby steps to do certain things. But when little things happen here and there, that can also affect myself. I don't know about you, and everyone is different, but that could be a reason why change is such a big stress for a lot of individuals. If you're worried about something, if you're worried about the what ifs, if you don't have much control over the outcome, maybe somebody else is going through the situation that's very close to you, and you feel like it's your burden, it's your problem as well. And again, the number one thing that you can do is don't worry about that uncertainty of, their problem, because sometimes other people's problems can really affect your own as well. And going back to focusing on the present and maybe what you can do for that person, or ask what you can do to help. Same thing for yourself. What can I do today to feel good, to be better myself, so I can go out and be better for everyone else, for everything else. But you always have to worry about you first, and really learning how to control and manage that stress. Okay, so I've been talking about, how to control stress, how to manage stress, but how do we do it? And honestly, the number one tip to really manage that stress, and the number one thing that I keep hearing, not only from myself, but when I look at things, when I look for an answer, is really to not be stuck on what you can't control. And that's such a key factor, because you can't control what you can't control. Other people's actions, other people are going to do things that you have absolutely no control over. There's things that are going to happen that are going to catch you off guard that you have no control over. People are going to make decisions. And you know what? You really have to learn to focus on what you can do for yourself. Because if you're always worrying about what other people are doing, and this person did that, and this person is not doing their job, if you're working with other individuals. So that's just an example, but really focus on what you can control, what you can do on the present, on the day-to-day basis, because you can be doing all the things. You can be exercising, you can be eating well, but if you're not present, if you're not being aware that what you're doing, you have control over what you are personally, trying to accomplish, that stress is really going to get to you. And trust me when I tell you, because this year, we're already in November. It's been hell. It's been super hard. One of the hardest years that I've had to endure as a wife, as a mother, as a daughter, as a sister, as a person that really wants, family and, peace and positivity. And sometimes things don't go your way. They don't go your way. They don't go how you want them to go, how you expect them to go. People act certain ways, and they let their emotions get the best of them and don't realize how you could be affected by it. And you can be blindsided a lot of the times. And that's, I think, what gets people to be in that stress state and worry about, oh my gosh, I can't control this, because it's not in our power to. And that's something that we have to relinquish and let go, because it is difficult, because being in control, we feel safe, we feel secure, we know what's going to happen. And that's our brain telling us we're safe when we're in control. When we're not in control, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what the other person's going to do. We don't know what's going to come next. And that is, the unknown can be scary. But learning to be in the present and learn that we control what we can do only, and not what anything else happens or everyone else is doing, but focus on ourselves. And that's going to bring a lot more peace, and it can definitely exclude you from a lot of individuals when you're working on yourself, when you're I don't need that in my life, I am choosing to step away from that. Or working on yourself. And it can be hard because our brains really tend to move to that safe zone where we want to control things, and it takes practice. It's not going to be like, okay, I'm not going to worry about that anymore, because that's not our nature. That's not how we operate, right? We want to be able to fix things. We want to make things better. We want to be able to do the things, and we don't want to be in problems. We want to find a solution, and that's all great. But know that what you do is the best thing that you can do is to be present and focus on what you can control, and not what other people say, not what other people do, and not any other circumstances that is out of your control. And so, again, number one thing that you can do to really manage your stress, because it can really affect your health, even if you're doing all of these things, whether you realize it or not, is really have control over your thoughts and feelings, and know that what you can control is only your actions and being present, day to day. So I hope today was helpful. We are coming in a season where we're going to have a lot of stress with, family trips and family time and all of the scheduling, especially as, we are not doing a Thanksgiving naturally like we normally do. We are stepping out and doing something new, and we're going camping. And so I'm excited about that, and just doing something different this year and staying away and keeping our peace. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I do have a reminder today. I will be coaching a few new clients next year for free, because I want to give out. I want to help individuals that really want to change, that really need help and don't know how to do it. And I really want to reach out to those who really want to change their ways and become a new, healthier version. And I'm all for that. So if you know somebody, please send them the link to this episode. I will have the application link below as well. So if you're interested or know somebody that's needing help to better the health, if they want to lose weight, send them to the link and they just fill out the application, and I will contact them in the beginning of 2024 to get started. So I'm so excited to do that, and I'm so glad that you got to listen to me today. If you have any questions or concerns, please email me at happieryouisahealthieryou@gmail.com, and we'll chat with you